Okay, blessings, everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. So I just wanted to take this opportunity and, bring about a recall of a word that I had been given 1 year ago. And it's interestingly ironic because when just the other day, I actually shared one of the fulfillments that occurred in this same series of dreams from this exact evening. And I'm actually going to play the video for you here. And so, what I think is very special about this is, number one, the timing of this, because I've been feeling, and many of you guys who watch my content, many of you guys in my private community, I've been talking about, I believe that it is high time to begin watching what we eat concerning this prophetic dream that I had. So I'm going to play this for you. And hopefully you guys can see it here. Here's the dream. I had a series of dreams last night that I wanted to share with you. The first dream is that there would be a massive cow beef recall that we would see in the coming days. So be on the lookout and be cautious of eating cow beef outside of, trusted sources. I believe this would be probably the stuff that we would find in the stores. I would not purchase beef from the stores in this season. That's what I would just suggest. Secondly, I saw in my dream, I was told. Now, this is the same evening, and this is me posting this video where I am sharing these two prophetic insights that I received in the same night. But the second one, so you heard the first part, that there would be a mass cow beef recall in the coming days. But in this part, it's where I'm talking about the crypto rally that we actually saw fulfilled. And I just did a breakdown video of this the other day, but listen to this. That the crypto market would rally 30 to 40% this month based upon a news event. That the crypto market would rally this month 30 to 40% based upon a news event. And I did the breakdown of this the other day where I went back on the charts and on the news, and we discovered that I want to say maybe 9 days after recording that video, the market that had gone down began to rally that month, and it equaled roughly 30 to 40%, exactly as I was told in my dream, based upon a news event. And what that news event was the Trump pausing the tariffs. And that's what caused the markets to rally. Now, the reason I brought that up is because, I believe that this is the time now where I think we're getting ready to get into this timeline of the urgency of being watchful over the beef that we consume. If you remember in my dream, I specifically mentioned, actually, it was specifically mentioned to me, cow beef. I didn't know at the time that there was any other type of beef. And then I found out that there's bison beef, there's several different kinds of beef, but that we would have a mass cow beef recall. All right. Now, here's what I'm doing personally. Okay. I don't have specific prophetic insight on where to source my beef. However, we have been ordering steaks and, different cuts of meat from a company that I've actually been a part of for several years. And we've actually ordered these steaks. This is a New York strip. I actually brought these. I just got an order today, ironically. And so I'm just showing these to you, wiping off the frost from where it's frozen, but this is the ground beef. Now, here's my favorite part that I'm going to share with you before I just transition here. This is a filet mignon. It's super, super solid, but watch this. This is one of my favorite parts. This is the sirloin. I mean, it is so similar in size that you can't even really tell the difference. The sirloins are just so fat. Anyway, my daughter is actually getting ready to cook some of those steaks in a little bit for us because we have a deal. She's like, Dad, can I have a steak and I'll cook you one? And of course, I always accept that offer. But as I tell people all the time, one of the things that stands out to me about this meat is it's incredible. Number one, it's antibiotic and hormone free. Somebody actually asked me if they are free from the MNRA, shots. I had never heard anything about that, but I actually researched it, and they have it listed right in their FAQ section that they specifically do not put those in their beef. So I had no idea that was even a thing, but I'm glad that she brought it up because that taught me something. But anyhow, if you want to get obviously where I get my steaks from, then, you're welcome to do that. We actually just placed an order. My wife was like, we're getting low on ground beef. And she's like, can you order like a bunch of ground beef? And I said, sure. So I placed the whole order of ground beef, like a couple of weeks before our regular order was going to go through. And you can set it up as a monthly or a bi-monthly kind of subscription. And you can get as little as I think $99 of a package of different variety of meats and cuts. But they just announced they have I don't even remember. They just announced they have, 60 different add-ons that you can add to your order now. They've increased that. But like I said, we've ordered faithfully, guys, from this company for years. And we have never skipped a beat. And what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, the ground beef that I ordered, I actually did the calculation today, and we compared it with our local grocery store, and the price per pound for the ground beef came out to be cheaper. And what's crazy about this is that they use you guys know of, and the only reason I know this stuff is because I just was being educated when we first started looking into it. But you guys know what a pedigree dog is, for example. Well, and you know how they can become very expensive based upon the DNA, who their dad is or whatever. Well, apparently it's the same with the cows. And so the cows that they use to breed their beef cattle are like $250,000 because they score every single category to perfection on what these farmers are looking for. And so anyhow, it's got the perfect consistency of marbling. One of the things and I was getting ready to say this earlier, but one of the things that stands out to me is that you cannot cook a bad steak with it. I remember one time, I think that it was overcooked. And I think it was overcooked. And I was just like, really surprised at how juicy it still was. And so, yes, Jessica, you must have tuned in late. Got to be careful trying to come into the tail end of a conversation and trying to judge everything. Amen. But yes, so and then the other thing was I wanted to also remind you guys that I also did a video. Let me see here. Is this the one? I did a video recapping a few ministers. Here's one. In fact, I think here's both of them. Jessica's like, yeah, you sure do. You sure do got to be careful. All right. So, so here's one video. April the 6th of this year, you guys remember remember this was last year, gave me the dream where he spoke to me and said that there would be a mass beef recall specific to cow beef. I didn't know there was another type of beef. I looked it up. There are other types of beef, but he was being very specific in what he showed me. I want to share with you a prophetic word that I jumped on the live stream with another minister today who shared something very interesting. I want you to take a listen. But first, here's my clip from April the 6th. In my dream, I heard, it was like a voice was telling me that there is coming a mass recall on cow beef.
It looks like there's like some kind of a new parasite that's going to be discovered. It's got something to do with meats, red meats in particular. And so when you feel or sense the drawing away from the red meats, follow that. Okay, follow that. And the parasite I'm looking at, it's like it's living in the colon, in the intestines.
As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. It is a warning that God is. All right. So then you've got this one here. Yep, this is it right here. Where you have another confirmation from none other than. Okay, now God is bringing out the heavy hitters to confirm the word that he gave me on April 24th about the coming mass beef recall. I have warned you concerning cow beef, and that for us, we have already made major changes in that arena. But I want you to listen to this mighty man of God who prophesied Trump getting a bullet grazing by his ear, dropping to his knees, blood dripping down his face 3 months before it actually occurred. And listen to what he says about what the Lord is showing him specific to cow beef. Here's the clip from Brandon. God bless.
A manipulation of the beef is coming. There's something with the cows. There's something wrong with the cows. Like another flare up of something wrong with the beef. There's something with the beef. Like cows. He said there's about to be something with the beef. With cows.
All right. So God gave me the word on April. All right, guys. So here you have, like I said, numerous confirmations of, like the dream that God gave me where he was telling me there would be a mass cow beef recall. And like I said, we specifically order and have been ordering from a private source. And it's, not one of these mass production company that supplies all the grocery stores and the different things. I would presume that those are going to be the types that they would hit. And so I cannot tell you prophetically that I have any specific insight in regards to exactly where would be safe and where would not be. but I do know that I feel much more comfortable buying it from a private supplier versus your local grocery store type of a thing. And so if you want to get my source, as mentioned, we've been ordering this stuff for years, guys. I only share things that I personally believe in. That's just how I've always been. And so if you want the information, we've had many people already opt in to get the link. And so and again, because I was sharing this more with my private community. And so now that that's all out of the way, I just want to make sure I come out here. As you guys know, I am not sharing all of like the crypto price points that God is showing me out in the public arena anymore, but I will continue to share the warnings that specifically deal with the types of things that we see coming in the days ahead. And what's interesting about this is, as we saw in that video, and even the video that I did the other day, where, in the same night when I had this dream about the mass cow beef recall, that was the same night that I released the word about the crypto market rallying 30 to 40% that month based upon a news event. And that news event was President Trump pausing tariffs. And on that day, I can't remember the exact day, I think it was like the 14th, I don't remember, the crypto market rallied. I just pulled up the charts the other day on one of these live streams and showed you guys the exact range where it rallied from and how much it rallied. And it was exactly 30 to 40% between the main coin, Bitcoin, and of course, XRP, which is what we were stewarding at the time. So God is good. He is so amazing at what he does. And we went back on the charts on the video and just showed specifically that it started on that day, because God had told me, a week and a half prior, that they would rally based upon a news event. And sure enough, that's exactly what occurred. However, Jessica says, I've heard this from 2 other prophets, and it will be like a mad cow disease. And see, that's, basically, what people are seeing. I released even another prophetic word from Apostle Jeremy Gibson, where he also had a dream about a problem with the beef. And he was sharing it as a reminder and as a warning. And so it has now been 1 year. 1 year since I had that dream. And, there was a other series of dreams that happened around that time period. 1 or 2 of them, I should say, because it came in a series of dreams, was the October crypto flash crash, where he showed me XRP going from 240 to 140, then back up to 250. And that manifested in a 3-hour time period. One of the most amazing, dynamic demonstrations of, the prophetic word of the crypto price points that God has been sharing. And of course, we know that that was the largest crypto liquidation flush in history. And so, in other words, in order for that to have come to pass, it would have had to have done what it had never done before. That's incredible. And that's where God gets the glory for these prophetic insights that he's sharing. Now, final remark. Okay. Once again, take a screenshot of this with your cell phone. If you're watching from your phone, or if you're on your computer, take a screenshot, however you do. But just text the word beef to 941-239-00 or 0997. And then when you do, you'll get the information on, like I said, where I get my beef, guys. These are frozen steaks. And once again, look at this ground beef, guys. Is that not the most, literally, let me rub that frost off, right? I'm telling you, the stuff is so premium. And it's, once again, hormone free and antibiotic free, and of course, mRNA vaccine free. So, yes, that's all I wanted to share, guys. It's just an option. I was going to title the video, we have options, but I didn't really want to give people the wrong idea that, that I can guarantee personally that, any meat will not be affected, because I don't really know. I just feel more comfortable sourcing it, at least until it begins to erupt, right? When we hear it all on the news and all these different things that they're recalling beef, then, at that time, I may reevaluate my approach. But at the very least, for now, I do feel kind of a tightening, that it's kind of, we're pressed for time here on when this is going to begin to occur. Okay, that's it, guys. I do appreciate, once again, you guys watching. And of course, do not forget the prophetic words about the mass cow beef recall. Take care and God bless.